Hello and welcome to another RouteSavvy quick tip video. This video is about uploading data to RouteSavvy. Uploading data to RouteSavvy is often the most challenging task for a new user, but it's really very easy if you follow a few simple guidelines. Here we will first cover how to format your spreadsheet and then how to upload it once it's ready. Generally, the best way to upload a spreadsheet is to either choose Start with a Blank Project or Continue Previous Work, and then use the Data Upload button on the Map tab. Here I'm going to start with a blank project. And before we get into the upload, I do want to point out we have sample files for download on the Data Upload dialog box. So you can just click on one of these and it'll ask you to download it. It may just automatically throw it in your downloads folder. And what you'll get is a spreadsheet that looks like this without the color coding at the top. I've coded the essential information in yellow and the optional information in green. The essentials are what we call the six, and that would be address 1, address 2, city, state, zip, and country. Now, your sample file is not going to have a country column in it. Your sample file is going to look like this. You may not need a country column. If you do, you'll just insert it, and at the top you put country. That's what RouteSavvy will be looking for in a country column. And in this case, I'd put USA, and they're all in the USA, and I would drop it down. Now I have state and zip. Why would I need country? Sometimes there's postal code overlap, and that can cause confusion. For example, the postal code 01009 is assigned to Bondsville, Massachusetts, but the postal code 1009 is also assigned to a part of Manila, Philippines. Numerically, there's no difference between 01009 and 1009. So every now and then that will cause a little bit of confusion, especially in the northeastern United States. I would suggest using a country column. Let RouteSavvy know that these locations are in the USA. You may also encounter that potentially if you're in Canada, UK, or Australia, where they have alphanumeric postal codes. There's a chance that you'll have a postal code and an address 1 that matches, and you wanted to put a location in the UK, but it matches a postal code and street address 1 in, say, Australia. Weird things happen sometimes, so it's nice to have a country column in here just to let the system know what you actually want to do with all that. Now, the optional fields, name is optional. Most customers are going to put a homeowner name or a business name, John Smith or XYZ gas station, and that's what you want it to be named. Some customers want it to be named the same as address 1. You can only do one thing with one column. So if you want your address 1 to be the name of the location, you can simply copy that column. Maybe I need to wait before I copy that column. So insert a blank column, copy the address 1 column, paste it in there, and then just change the header. And you'd want to get rid of this other one that says name. RouteSavvy will only let you have one column that's name. There can only be one address 1 column. There can only be one city column, and it'll let you know if there are 2 of them, and it'll have you fix it. The other optional fields here in green are the notes fields. We have 5 notes fields, and typically notes 5 is reserved for email addresses. So the first 4 notes fields are generally any information that the person in the field needs to know. If it's a delivery driver, if it's a technician, whatever you have, you can put a job type there. You can put, hey, there's a big dog in the side yard. Whatever you need to put there to get to your person in the field, that's a good place to put that information. And then notes 5, if you're using the optional RouteSavvy mobile app, When you use the mobile app to mark the stop as complete, that email address is the address that will be notified of the completion notification. Stop time minutes are also optional. That should be any whole number, any whole non-negative number. So you can have 0, you can have 10, 15, 1, 60. As long as it's not negative and it's not any kind of a decimal or a fraction, you can put it in there. And stop time minutes is how long you expect your person in the field to be stopped at that location. So you don't have to use it. That's why it's optional. If you don't use it, RouteSavvy will just put a 0. And when you calculate your drive time for your route, you'll only get drive time. If you do use stop time minutes, it will add up the stop time for whatever stops are on that route, and it will add that to the drive time so that your total route time will be a lot more whole of a picture. Stop units are similar. You don't have to use them. You can always leave it blank or not even put this column in there, and it will just put a 0. Um, this is generic on purpose, and the idea is that it's how many units of whatever you have that you need to complete that stop. So if you're delivering cases of beverages, you could put 1 case for this stop, or 1 case, 5 cases for this stop. If you're delivering gallons of liquid, you could put 50 gallons here and 100 gallons there. Could be pallets or any kind of letters. Could be any unit that you need to deliver or install or what have you. And then there's one more optional column that's not going to be in your sample, and that's the folder column. That is a folder sorting function, and so it's telling RouteSavvy that you want RouteSavvy to sort these locations into folders based on the values that are in this column. So if I had a column like this, it would sort, when I import this, it'll put this location into a folder called 1, put these into the folder called 2. It will also put these into the folder called 1, and it will sort this whole list into 2 folders for me. You don't have to use that, but if you had a big spreadsheet with your existing routes on it, for example, you could use this to sort those. If you have a column that says route 1, route 2, route 3, route 4, you could use the folder column to sort these things into a way that is easier to manage for you. I'm going to save this file, and that's all formatted. RouteSavvy it will not see a header here, so it's going to ignore this column, and everything else in here will be a column that RouteSavvy recognizes. So I can go ahead and import. I'll show you that again. That's the data upload button, and you can drag and drop here. So if you have a Finder window or an Explorer window with the file there, you can just drag it on here. You also have the option to choose the file, where you would browse out there, look through your file structure and find the file. Once you have your file chosen, you can hit next, and RouteSavvy is showing us the exact same thing. As I said, it's going to ignore this column because there's no header there. You can choose, if you wanted it to do something else with this, you could choose any of these labels for this column. And I like to go and just verify everything, but it's matching. What you see in bold is what's actually on my spreadsheet. What you see on the dropdown is what RouteSavvy thinks I want to do with that column. So as long as that all matches, we're good to go and ready to import. So that's ready to go. It'll import, as I said, it'll put those into folders 1 and 2 because I use the folder sort. If you don't use the folder sort feature, you won't see this window. It'll just jump to this where it puts them on the screen for you. Um, and so that is really how simple it can be to format your data and to upload it. So it's really quick and easy in RouteSavvy. If you just take a moment, take a look at this video, take a look at that sample, download the sample file and take a look at that. And it makes it a really quick process to get your locations in there. So stay tuned to next month's lesson for more quick tips and how-to tricks so that you can get the most out of RouteSavvy, saving your company time and money.